Kick things off with what we discussed at the top of yesterday's show. Gareth Bale, it's official. He's come into MLS to play for LAFC.
Got to get better hat than that, surely.
Well, it's the tradition, isn't it? It's the LAFC unveiling tradition. For more on this, let's welcome in, shall we, Don Hutchison. And, wait, he sent me a message. I have to introduce him.
Excited.
The better half of Football America's Sebastian Salazar is here as well. Seb, let's start with you. Excited?
Oh, absolutely. I think it's a great move. I think it's a huge move for LAFC to do it in the way that they did it. A TAM signing leaves them the flexibility to then do what we saw in the following hours, which is re-sign Carlos Vela. You put it in the context of their transfer window. It's hard to think of another MLS transfer window that has gone better. They bring in Chiellini. They've now extended Carlos Vela. It feels like the beginning of a super team there in Los Angeles, which we know is going to force the Galaxy to compete a little bit more. And from a league perspective, you know, the league has not liked this retirement league image. But I'll be honest with you, I think some of the league's highlights in the last few years have been so-called retirement players. It's something MLS could I think, go a long way in embracing.
Super team.
Hold
Seb?
on. What have I missed?
It's quite a loose term, isn't it, considering Chiellini and Gareth Bale?
Yeah, you don't think, I mean, honestly, I'll ask the panel this. Who on the panel is sure how far off his best Gareth Bale is?
Miles.
If Gareth Bale comes, come on. But you know the level's miles different as well,
Listen.
Craig. And you would be the first to say that.
Listen.
A motivated Gareth Bale's going to come and light this league up. Are you disagreeing with that?
Let me tell you something. If you ever get the time, and I know you don't because you're too busy, go back and check these shows or ask somebody that watches this show regular and ask about... I've been a very big fan of Gareth Bale's performances over his career. No doubt. But, and you know this, but the guy can't do what he once did. However, it's fine. I haven't got a problem with that. But, you know, Bale's been wearing his sun hat and his factor 50 for 18 months now. Chiellini's one of the best defenders that ever walked this planet. No doubt about it. Rugged, knows all the tricks, but he's at the wrong end of his career. But I don't have an issue with those players coming to America and playing their talent. Just see it for what it is. They're coming here to earn a few quid, play a bit of soccer, and maybe have it a bit easy. In Bale's case, he's preparing for a World Cup. But I've always said, Dan, on this show, when we were chatting about Cardiff in the Championship, I said to you, no, this is bad. The Championship is bad. It's a tough league. It's not for him with his mindset, with his preparation. If you're half-hearted, you get injured. And I think this is actually perfect for him. I do think it's perfect for him, but see it for what it is. He'll just swan around, making sure everybody else does his business and look to take a few headlines. He's not going to come here and show the youngsters how to train.
Right.
It's not going to happen.
Seb?
Yeah, I don't think anybody expects Gareth Bale to show the youngsters how to train, Craig, but I think it's fair to think he can dominate. Come on. That's not what you're paying him to come here for. You're paying him for how good he is.
Well, you just said these guys you're turning them into a super team. We're talking about guys. If you want guys to be coming to Major League Soccer, you want guys to come in, if you're putting them in that category, and really show the inferior, younger, less experienced players what it's all about. I'm imagining, you know, Gareth Bale, and I don't think I'm doing him a disservice, if you've looked at the last 18 months to 2 years, is just going to do enough that keeps him ticking over to make sure when he turns out for Wales at the World Cup, and he will, that he's fit and he's ready. And listen, that might be enough for LAFC in this standard of football. That's fine, but he's not going to be a beacon of fantastic attitude for the younger players. That train left the station 2 or 3 years ago.
Look, Craig, to that point, there's not much risk here. It's a one-year deal through next summer. So you've got him in the run-up to the World Cup where you figure he'll be motivated. He'll come off that World Cup, and if he plays well for 3 or 4 months and you find him motivated, you give him the 18-month option. You keep him through 2024, and maybe Bale is motivated to keep playing for Wales through the next European Championships. I think there's a huge upside to this. I don't think there's much risk. You're giving him not that much money relative even for MLS standards. We know at least this year it's not going to be more than 1.6. You get him for a year, and at this point, it's not a team that needs, coaching the youngsters. LAFC is a ready-made team. They're first in the Supporters Shield. They're the Vegas favorite to win the league. this is icing on top of the cake. It's the perfect move.
Listen, I know Don's waiting patiently with bated breath. I know he's desperate to get in on this. Let me just say one thing. I think this is a perfect scenario all round. I just think we should. I just get slightly annoyed when we try and paint it in a certain way.
Right.
However, all I'm saying, and I don't know LAFC because I don't watch it. Right. I don't know. I have no idea what's going to happen. But I know Carlos Vela, now Gareth Bale, and Giorgio Chiellini, and a goalkeeper. Right. So I'm praying that the other 7 love to run around. Right. If the other 7 love to run around and scurry around and carry the water, things might be great. If the other 7 don't, there may be problems ahead.
Beautiful, musical ESPN FC. Seb, just to pick you up on that point, why would Gareth Bale be motivated for LAFC when he wasn't motivated for Real Madrid?
We don't know. I don't know Gareth Bale personally. We don't know what's going to motivate Gareth Bale.
Clearly, we know what's going to motivate him. Wales. That's it.
Okay. Well, he has Wales to stay in shape for the next 3 months, right? So hopefully that'll motivate him for now.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.